Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Kreide Duel between Jeb playing Division Mobilization, or Mobilized Division, the Belgian thing. The guy with the trumpet. Really popular div right now, seen as a bit too strong. He's going up against Fort Bragg Thug Shakers, don't Google it. And he's playing 82nd Airborne, who are based in Fort Bragg, as we learned in the last video. So we'll cover the deck reviews, then the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the div review for Fort Bragg. And as you can see, this is the one from this game. And this is on the left is the one from a previous game. And they're identical with the exception of two things. So rather than just say the same thing again for 20 minutes, I'll link this in the description and we'll cover the changes. So, yeah, if you want the full 80-second rundown, just check out this video. It's the same deck, and I go through it in great detail, explain what everything's for. The only two changes, three changes in fact, are the transport for this unit has changed, the Air Rifles Leader, and this CV has changed to Airborne Leader. And he got rid of the ACAV Sheridan to replace with an LGBT. So let's go through that, right? So first things first, the Aero Rifles Leader. So you can choose between a Chinook and a Blackhawk. I think the Chinook's better because, and I think I said this in the video, but my memory's terrible. Basically, you know, you want to get there in one piece, and this has more HP, so it's more likely to get there in one piece. Blackhawks are useful for shooting people and stuff, but this also makes the CV cheaper. So I think it's worth bringing this one. The other one was that I think he had AB Engineers Leader as the CV. Yeah, he did. And I believe I said the Airborne Leader's better because the Engineers Leader, right, is 115 points for 12 guys and a law and an M240 Bravo, right? Whereas the Airborne Leader is 115 points for AT4s, which are a much better rocket launcher, and smoke, which is really, really useful. So that's why I recommended that change. I think I might have mentioned something about the helos. Basically, this can be useful for like launching hellfires at people. Sure, it's just it dies really, really easily. So it can be worth bringing this one instead, because you get twice as many. It's much cheaper. You still have hellfire launchers in the form of the Apaches and whatnot. But, you know, this can work. It's just, as I described, right? And the other thing was he had the Recon Sheridan here, a 6 availability, and instead of that, he could have had an extra plane. So that was my feedback. Well, why not get yourself an extra plane? I might have recommended the A-10 rocket. I can't remember. It is a lot of fun, this thing. I bring this. But yeah, the RGB is good as well. It's just this one doesn't one-shot tanks. In fact, if an infantry, it'll only deal 6 damage to an infantry squad in a building. So just keep that in mind. That it's oh wow, yeah, sun's in my eyes there, and it's. I was just going to put up with it, but it's obviously being reflected on the camera. It makes me obviously look better. So there we go. Just close the blinds there. So that's that, right? If you want the full 80-second breakdown, just check the link in the description. There's no point saying the same thing multiple times, basically. Although that is basically what this whole channel's all about. Switching to his opponent's deck, we've got Jeb playing DivMob. We've not seen Jeb play DivMob before, right? So this will take a little bit longer. DivMob, like, so this is my DivMob deck, right? And I think his is broadly similar, especially the tank tab. So he might have got this from me, who knows. I'm just looking for other differences. Yeah, so I don't bring the Alpha Jets, for example. So let's go through this tab by tab. So first things first, I bring 3 cards on supply because I always run out. Especially if you want to keep these 2 firing all game and resupply all your reservists and stuff. I run out of supply by about 25 minutes if I don't do that. So that's why I bring 3 cards. He chooses to bring 2. So Unimog, Small Truck, and then Sea Kings to fill up the Unimogs. I prefer the Volvo to fill up the Unimogs because it comes on the ground, so it's easier to get there without getting spotted and blown up. The thing is, if you lose, and it's 3,000 supply for 80 points, whereas this would be 3,000 supply for 135 points. Of course, you can sell these afterwards, after they've emptied and whatnot, but it does represent some significant opportunity cost. The issue is if you lose one of these, you just Alt F4 because you just lost 3,000 supply, whereas if you lose one of these, you've only lost 1,000. In terms of the CV options, right, you've got the Altis PC, 3 availability, and then between these two tracked ones, this one's cheaper, and this one it has one more armor, I guess, but is actually slower. So I mean, okay, it might save you having one more front armor. I think your speed will probably save you a bit more, frankly, so I'd go for the cheaper one, personally. Infantry, so this is a must bring. These guys are your forward deployment for the start of the game. They come in a forward deployed Unimog transport with a Milan 1 and a 50 cal, so you can just use this and just shut down a whole area just by buying this. You know, extra bonus points if you put a minstrel with them for AA, but otherwise you can stop infantry, you can stop tanks because of the Milan, you know. It's very effective at holding ground. Then between the Milan 2 variants, he brings both of them. Okay. I think I go for the Milan 2, Milan 1 combo. I do. Because the Milan 1 is cheaper, so, you know, it's more about target saturation, whereas the Milan 2 actually kills stuff. You know, you could go 2 Milan 2s, it can work, right? In terms of total CV numbers, we've got 8, so quite a few CVs. You could get away with just having 6, you know, you could just get rid of this. And just have 6 CVs and have a third card of supply. I think 6 CVs is completely fine. 8's quite a lot, actually, but there you go. Gendarmes are a must-bring, in my opinion. So these are your military police for your Provincio, which are also a must-bring. And I bring them in the BDX as well, because it's 25 points for smoke and military police and, you know, 2 machine guns, and it's super-duper fast. But the fact that it's got smoke is very useful. This has, you know, less armor, less HP. It's just way worse. For 5 points, you can get a decent transport. And then I bring, yeah, I think I bring 2 cards of Provincio, and I bring one of them in trucks so I can get them there faster. I don't really see the point in this unit. Like, what, if you want AT, you've got these guys, right? And you've also got these guys. So what do you need this for, really? Yeah, I mean, you can bring it if you want, but I just don't see the point. And then 3 cards of Provincio is just like, why do you need 3 cards of Provincio? I'd much rather stack out there. So what is that? 2-pointer, 2-pointer. I mean, you can do it, right? It's just, you know, wouldn't you rather have, well, what do I even bring? A bit more recon, I suppose. Tank tap's full anyway. You can bring 2 more planes, I guess, instead of 12 Provincia. Okay. Yeah, I think 3 cards of Provincia, especially if you're going to be bringing these guys, I think 3 cards of Provincia is a bit much, frankly. So, yeah, let's get rid of 1 card of that. And then, yeah, if you've already got trucks supported infantry, so, you know, I just bring 2 cards and one of them's in a truck, but I've already got some trucks here. Land 2 we spoke about, and then this is the CV, and it's 3 availability, 10 strength with smoke, so, like, what's not to like? The other ones, you know, 7 men with smoke, only 2 availability, but not reservist. This is sort of, you know, only 4 guys, 2 availability, and this is 5 guys, 2 availability. I mean, this is just obviously the best option. Even if it's reservist, it's got so much more HP and it's got smoke. In terms of what you're bringing it in, I mean, okay, I bring it in the car. I don't really see the point in having 1 more of these, but whatever. RT, these are must bring. The Toad one gets 2 vet for free, so like, why not? Why not do that? Get the 2 vet for free. And then in my previous video, which I feel like this has taken some inspiration from, I say, you know, these mortars are kind of hard to use because they only go 3,500 meters. So I've been experimenting with bringing the M108s for smoke. The issue with the M108s, of course, is that if they start getting corrected shot and stuff like that, which kind of makes it hard to smoke. If you've got recon there, you can disable the corrected shot by holding control and then pressing smoke and then clicking it, but it's really hard to queue up the orders. It doesn't always work properly. So honestly, I'd say one or the other, right? And certainly the self-propelled one's better than the foot one, because this is 50 points anyway, and this can move, so you can get it around more can get it closer. So, you know, between the two of them, they've both got their disadvantages, but you should just pick one. So in this case, I'm picking this one. But this works okay too, it's just the range is so bad, it's really hard to use them. So I'd just pick one, and then now we've got three, right? Tank tab, yeah, you want this one, because it's got 1080 gems in a card. I've seen people bring in the striker. I prefer the Ultis Milan too, because it's got more oomph, but the striker has more range. Less stealth, but smoke, whereas this has good stealth, whereas I already have something that has mediocre stealth, so that's why I bring the Ultis Milan 2 instead of the striker, but both can work. M41's really good against infantry because it fires so fast. I like the JPK-90 as well on the defensive, because it can take a hit and it's got mediocre stealth, so it tends to get the first shot off on advancing enemies and fires quite fast. I like it a lot. And then M47's just for spam, basically. And then, yeah, between your military police vehicles, I bring this one. Because it can also shoot at vehicles, whereas this can't. This is better against infantry than this is, I think. 0.9 times by 8 times by 0.45, or... Well, so the thing is that this deals double damage against... This deals 0.6 damage against guys and buildings, whereas this would only deal half of 0.9 damage against guys and buildings. So this is better against people against infantry. The same applies in forests, whereas this is better against vehicles because it can actually shoot them. They've got the same speed and whatnot. I just prefer this one. Recon tab. So SRDA are really good because they've got satchels and snipers, which is a bit of a... They don't synergize well, but they're good at snipering and they're good at satcheling. So they've got 10 men. So it's a decent squad either way. I bring these as well. I bring them in the car just so I can get them around more. So this is the recon equivalent of this, right? Except obviously the one on the left has 3 more guys. Chasseurs Ardennes are supposed to be like the cool, unique unit, and I just don't see the point of them at all. I suppose they've got 2 machine guns for 40 points. Like, they're just bad arm rifles. They really are. I suppose they've got 1 more man than arm rifles for the same price, but it's just the AT's worse. The machine guns are worse because they can't fire on the move. And they do have security, so they've got good optics when they're stood still, but I just don't think the squad's that useful. So, yeah, Scimitar, Recon Helo, that's all good. You can bring this, but it's like... It just doesn't work very well, because of how fast it goes and how long it takes to turn. You can't actually keep vision on a single target, so... And it just dies. AA, so Paraminstrel is a must-bring. I'm not sure why he's brought this, frankly. If you want to shoot infantry, use this. If you want AA, you can just move the minstrels around in the cars. This isn't forward deployed either. I mean, I suppose it's decent against infantry, it's just this would die in 1 hit and this wouldn't, and it's cheaper, and you get the same, I guess. And then, yeah, 1 card of Ihawks is very normal. And then planes. So, first things first, this is where the 3 points goes. You need 2 cards of fighters, because the fighter is really bad. This fighter will let you down. This fighter will let you down. The accuracy on these missiles isn't great, and they only deal 4 HE, so you'd actually have to hit them 3 times to kill a 10 HP plane. ECM is only 20% instead of 30. This fighter will let you down. It will miss all 6 missiles. I've seen it happen many times. So that's why I think you need 4. Then the Alpha Jet I just don't bother bringing. I think I actually do have an extra infantry in here. I just bring, because I bring 3 cards of supply. I've basically not got one of these, and I've got a supply there. And then I've got an extra CV here, extra 3 CVs, because you get 2 cards of these. So I get like, you know, I think I actually do have like 8 CVs, same as this guy. But yeah, you definitely need 2 cards of this, right? If you want all that infantry and stuff back, right? Let's say you really do want, like, you could even do something absolutely wild with these, where you, like, double vet them and get 2 or something. Or you could just get 8 mortars and not worry if they go forwards too much and die. You know, whatever you want. But yeah, I'd be getting rid of the Alpha Jet then and getting these 2 cards of fighters. The Alpha Jet can be useful and a really nice payload. It's just, it's very hard to keep alive. It just dies. That it gets one shot by Sparrows, R27s, stuff like that. So And then this thing's really good because you can switch off one of the bombs and use the other one, and then use the other one. That's a lot of fun. Sadly, it dies a lot, but because it's only got 20% ECM. And then this is very good against tanks. It will reliably kill whatever tank it's pointed at. It's got 30% ECM. So that's it for the div reviews. Now we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, I mean, I did tell you not to Google it. This is Kreide Duel. I vastly prefer being on the blue side. You get a better... Like, Delta is so much easier to defend than Foxtrot. You get a better chance in Charlie, right? You get all these buildings, they get a dip. Wow. And Bravo, I think Blue has a much better time in... Look, this is where Blue's forward deployment starts. This is where Red's forward deployment starts. You know? I think you get a better time in Bravo because you can park guys up this hill and just poke them over and shoot. Obviously, if you've not got heavy tanks, it gets kind of hard to do that, but you can still, you can still shoot the reinforcements coming down this road using this hill here and whatnot. If you're red, I've tried multiple ways of playing this map. I've tried attacking Delta at the start, but it's practically impossible. Foxtrot's really easy to take, because as soon as you get to here, you've taken Foxtrot. Wow, because you could just put a guy down this road. You could just put a guy in these trees, and he can shoot all the way down here, and he can also shoot past the crossroads. So when you're bringing up your reinforcements, you have to, like, unload them here and then move them across this gap, and it's just a total pain in the arse. Whereas for Delta, attack... So this is the middle part, right? Attacking Delta is basically impossible, because you've got this position that can shoot all the way down there. Right, you can shoot all the way down there. This position, and even if you lose those three, you can still cover it all from here, and you can cover it from here as well. And it says so. Red basically has to take Golf, and then has to stack up over here. This gives you some fire control over like this forest a little bit, but not all of it. So they can just hide here. But it helps you shoot the guys here. But the issue is you're still going to get guys shooting all the way down here. It's just so hard to take this zone. I've got a really good game coming out on the channel on this map, and this is just... Anyway, I haven't seen this yet. Maybe this also shows that. So the only way to really win as Red, in my opinion, is to just YOLO Bravo really hard at the start. Because if you can take Bravo and get to here... things become a lot easier for you, because Blue has to stage all the way back here. Nice big open field. And then, if you're Red, you can just, you can smoke a bit here and then jump up and start messing up over all this stuff, right? If you get to here, it's basically lights out on Charlie, so yeah, I think Red's... but Red has a harder time taking Bravo because of this hill, so what can you do? In terms of the matchup, you'd expect DivMob to win late, basically. So, like, 40mm grenade launchers on 82nd Airborne are pretty annoying to face with infantry. Having played against Fort Bragg myself, I did struggle against those. But eventually, you can just sort of wear down the 82nd player, and they'll just sort of run out of stuff. Especially given that Jeb has the 2 mega arty pieces at 2 vet. They should be very instrumental in just killing everybody. So, yeah, I think you'd expect 82nd Airborne to win early, and then DivMob to win late. That's how you'd expect it to go. Looking at the deployments, we've got Jeb opening with a tracked recon guy, so he's going to take ages to get there. That's why I prefer the wheeled one from the deck review, which you didn't skip. Got SDR-8. Or is it B? It's 8. So, yeah, recon there with a sniper and whatnot. I think he would have been best suited here or something, and then he could come around to here. Because you've still got a unit here which can just see that, so whatever. Paracommandos with the Milan. Spoke about that in the deck review. Very potent combo for just locking down an area at the start of the game. We've got Minstrel all the way back here. SDR-8. Another Paracommando, and then the ATGM's being sent back. Paracommando for the right building and Paracommando for over here. So I think it's quite rare for people to just YOLO Charlie, but I mean, it can happen. Oh, somebody's calling me. Just got to cut it. Right, I'm not sure where I got to. I think I covered these guys, and yeah, behind that is a CV and an M41. I never open CVs on this map. I don't see the point, particularly if I'm on the red side. I want to be in Bravo as fast as possible. They're only +1s, so you don't really need a CV at the start, in my opinion. I buy it in like the first couple of minutes or whatever, but you know, you can buy it, it's just it makes your deployment weaker. Although it's only really 1 unit weaker, right? These used to be like 100 and something, but now they're just 80, so it's just basically just 1 infantry. Like, one of these is 80. 90 even, so it's actually less than that. So yeah, I can understand it. So then we've got Paraminstrel, SDR8. So this should be trying to get in here as fast as possible. I don't. This is not a good angle to take. You want this in here so you can use the satchels. And then Paracommando, Paracommando, Paracommando. I think more SDR8s. One more SDR8 and one fewer Paracommando would have been good in Bravo because you're going to be fighting in the forests, right? So you need satchels. Then a Scimitar. The self-propelled gun, which so this is why the towed one would have been better, because you can actually put the towed one in the forest and use it to help you in the fights. This, if it drives in, it's just going to get a rocket launcher. And then 3 M41s, which I don't think are going to be particularly useful if the guy is in the forest, but I suppose they are quite... Oh no, it's the other one that's well armoured. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Fort Bragg playing as a second. And he's got a CV for Bravo, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf. Okay. I mean, typically... Does it make sense to go this way? Not really, because this is the one that's most likely to be contested. Wouldn't it make more sense to go Golf, Foxtrot, Echo, Bravo? Whatever. And then we've got 40mm grenade launcher, Stinger, and then the Humvee for the Stinger is being sent to here for some reason. It's not armed or anything. Okay, whatever. Airborne Dragon, and an LRS. And then the unarmed Humvee for the LRS has been sent here. I guess he wants them to give vision or something, but I suppose it can work. Then a sniper. It's going to come in a very, very silly angle. Get spotted. Probably be best to unload that here. Although, well, it doesn't have GSR, so probably wouldn't even be able to see these guys. And then a Tow 2. Another sniper. So this one might even be able to get up to here. Well, no, because you'd see it come in. Whatever. And then another Tow 2. LRS for mid. Keep in mind that the LRSs go faster than the Paracommandos, because this is 100 kilometers an hour forward deployment. This is 90 kilometers an hour forward deployment. And this Belgium div doesn't get the funny helicopter attack thing. So it should be alright. And then, yeah, 40mm Stinger, Airborne Dragon, Humvee, Tow 2. It's quite rare to see people invest that much on this side. Usually, there's just a massive dog pile into Bravo at the start, because that's what the game's all about. But yeah, you know, you can take all this and that's good, right? It's just if you lose Bravo as red, I think it's basically over. Under supply. So let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One joined at the lowest levels with 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. Yeah, this is my sole source of income, currently trying to finish off a PhD. I should probably do an update on that at some point. It's not going amazingly. Anyway, a big fight about to happen, and this is what I meant about this deployment not being very good. So if this is unloaded, like he could kill this before it unloads, right? So there you go. Yeah, the sniper's been caught out. Humvee Tow 2's running away apparently. I mean, could use him really to shoot the scimitar or whatever. Stinger's getting hit, and you see the yeah, big fight going down. Over on the right side, obviously, 8 seconds just going to take this, in my opinion. Right, it's not much there. Here we go, Tow 2 engages a Scimitar. And, yeah, it looks like Red's winning so far. Phantom has been purchased. This is, like, way too cost-effective now. Now that this has this range, it just shouldn't be 185 points anymore. But look at that, 2 shots, 2 hits. That is pretty unfortunate for Jeb there. But, yeah, only 20% ECM, and this gets... more accuracy the closer it gets, but yeah, that is not fortunate. So the M41s have shown up, and then basically Red should just retreat out of here and let the Tow 2 do the work. And that is what he's doing. So as long as these guys live, there is a supply. He's got a Black Hawk with some arrow rifles. There is a minstrel here, but because of the forest and everything, I'm not sure it can see it. So yeah, the Tow 2 is getting sniped, basically. This has a sniper on it, so The Airborne Dragon would probably lose that fight, but once the grenade launcher gets here, obviously that's going to be a bit more of an issue. The thing is, the M41s are going to open up on these guys, so... and you see that they all missed, I think. But when they hit, they do quite a bit of damage, right? So 40mm is going to engage, and then presumably the M41's going to see it. And Jeb buys the smoke howitzer. So yeah, you'd expect the Airborne div to be winning at the start. I think the decision to buy that bomber first tick from Jeb wasn't a great one. Like, if he just bought way more Provincio now, he could keep hitting things. Kind of get the idea behind this arty piece to smoke, I suppose, but, you know, you could just buy the 203 and just kill this. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to smoke, I guess this is the way to do it. And there's no recon, so you don't have to worry about corrected shot. So, here we go, Minstrel engages now. It does actually hit. So this does have 10% ECM, but this is a very accurate man pad. So, yeah, what to do? Red is currently winning, because he's got Golf and Bravo, and his opponent has Charlie. But here's the thing, right? So what he needs to do is put CV here. But because he sent this way, instead of the other way, well, now it's got to go up here and then all the way back round. Also, you know, he needs to push this out, essentially. He could, all of this could just get all the way up to here. Take all that, right? Phantom's still circling. It's got a lot of missiles as well. You know, this thing's way too cost efficient now. I keep having to face it. It's just ridiculous. Like, the Belgian fight is 10 points less, and it's significantly worse. Significantly worse. So yeah, it's not the best thing ever. And yeah, I don't know, using this is not a 155mm, this is a 105 howitzer, so it's a light gun, so it just doesn't really do anything. So this is, I suppose if it hits the sniper, they'll probably kill it. But it's just all RNG, and as you can see, the splash is very weak. So the IV went down, and here we go. So blue attacking, and now he's sending the CV all the way around to Charlie, because of what we described, right? So there you go, it hits the Humvee. Now, I think he would have been much better suited buying the better howitzer, the 203 in the Volvo, right? I think that would have done a lot more work. Anyway, getting a bit sloppy here, like this could be sold, right? Needs to buy some more supply. Just 180 for 6 rounds, so with 100 he'll get... oh, it's going to heal him as well, so... I don't know, he might get 2 rounds there. Depends if it starts refueling this as well, which is always lovely. And yeah, the advantage of DivMob is that the cost efficiency on its units are just a little bit too high. Particularly these Provincio are better than a KDA Schutzen, they're actually cheaper. They're way better at fighting. And so, you know, you can very, very quickly rebuild. The thing is, right, so I assume this would be for, like, smoke or something, and he's just getting absolutely blown to smithereens. So I think he could have done with... well, I mean, he's getting some kills, but you know, buying that better arty piece, I think. And also, that has smoke, so, you know, that could have smoked itself. F-16 AT does claim a victim there. 60% accuracy. And yeah, these only have 4 armor, so... There's no AA. He's bought an Ihawk now, but yeah, I think Blue should have just played it a bit slower. Like, he's pushing in too fast here, right? Basically, you know, you don't just run in here. First thing you want to do is take this. So you can, you know, if you've got guys, he's got this, which is good, right? And then you can, if the guys are here and they need to get here, well then you would smoke this, right? And then you would come over here, or you can attack from this side, and you just want to take this little corner, and then with this corner, then you can hop the gap, and then you can take all this, right? The other thing you want to do is get something up here, which apparently we did have at some point. There's lots of ATGMs. So he's running away, and yeah, I just don't understand the M108 purchase if he's not going to use it for smoke. What's it for? If it's to hit people, why didn't he buy the other one? It's 140 points, and it's way, way, way better. So yeah, the LAV is absolutely taking names here, getting a lot of kills. More Provincio. So this is the advantage of DivMob. He can literally just do this for 40 minutes. He can just take hilariously bad trades and just keep running at you for 40 minutes. You know, the more I see it, the more convinced I am that it is a bit too strong. Basically, they wouldn't have to change much. Just you know, like, so this is Reservist, so why not give the transport Reservist? You'll note that that's not Reservist, right? Or raise the price. This could go up 5 points. And then maybe have a look at the tanks or something to go up 5 points or something like that. Also, that RT being 2-vet for free is a bit silly. In the meantime, well, the same thing's happening over here, but there's been a lack of micro, right? So that the 40mm is not in position. So that's not actually helping. And this, you know, on the flip side, these three could be shooting, but yeah, they're just not. Nobody's looking over here. They're all looking over here. So, yeah, more M108s, killing some airborne there. You see, like, so this is 65 points. This is 40, and it's actually got more guys. It's got 3 more guys. It's just obviously it is reservist and you know and whatnot, but yeah, it's not ideal. Either way, Humvee Tow 2, not quite in range to sort that out. And yeah, the F-16AT gets hit by the IHawk. Does get a 25-point IV, or it might have been a 60-point JPK. And there you go, there's the reverse from earlier, basically, right? He hit a plane twice, well now he got hit twice. So LAV is a very intelligent idea. Sneaking around the side here is very smart. Right, so he knows all this is clean, so he could potentially move this up as well. And he's going to get a lot of kills here. He's going for the RT, which I think is a good idea, frankly. And seed purchase for the IHawk. So there is a minstrel there, so I'd assume the minstrel's going to hit him, actually. Okay. And yeah, the LAV got the RT, and it's getting Provincio. And yeah, just this kind of zombie horde thing. This is why the zombie apocalypse wouldn't go anywhere, because if the zombies really are stupid, people would just, you know, set up killing zones and do this. So yeah. Okay, so he's sending out the Alouette now, which is obviously not an amazing idea because the LAV is just going to kill it. But keep in mind, this div doesn't get helicopters. So the Kiowa Warrior went down. 120 points is difficult to keep alive. And yeah, just losing guys in the transport constantly. Losing loads and loads and loads of guys in the transports. Yeah, so it was Alouette plus Alpha Jet, basically. So this big hill here might mess up the targeting. Also, it takes ages to drop. So, okay, all he has to do now is stop. He chooses to walk forwards into the path of the bombs. Okay, but I guess it assumed he would not slow down because of the forest. So, yeah, and then... So this actually one-shots the Alpha Jets. Right? It just... So... Like that. And yeah, the Alpha Jet's really struggling to hit this, but they do just clip it at the end there. It does manage to crash into his teammates, but I don't know, the hitbox on these jet explosions is very small. It's very, very hard to hit somebody with a crashing jet. Anyway, over here, you know, Fort Bragg just not looking. And so these are just walking towards him and just killing his guys one at a time. He's not sold this. He's not reinforcing it. I prefer the heavy hog over the regular hog because it can dump its entire payload in 3 seconds, and the payload isn't actually as bad as you might think. It's not as good as the hog's full payload, but that takes about 12 seconds to shoot it all, whereas the heavy hog's like 3. So you can very quickly get in, shoot, and get out. And if you've got a supply like under it, you can just land, immediately resupply for free, basically almost for free, and then stand back up, shoot again, land, stand back up, shoot again, land, and you can really pump out the DPS. The disadvantage is, of course, less sustained firepower. So, Scimitar went down here to presumably this guy. And, you know, he can deal with the IVs and stuff. There's just too many guys here. Really, though, if you're in Jeb's position, there should have been a gendarmes in this group. Like, why aren't the Provincio being helped with the gendarmes? Using some helo infantry there. A couple of 105s to deal with the tanks. And, yeah, it looks like Jeb's sort of realised now. Okay, so I can take this and then take that. The 40mm are pretty good. The issue is getting them into a position where they can shoot where a tank doesn't take them out. But yeah, Jeb's messed up his macro here. So micro is how you micro the units around, clicking the units around. Macro is like what you're buying. So all he's buying now is Provincio. He's not mixing any gendarmes in with it. He's not... like there's only one gendarme here instead. He's not buying any tanks. He needs tanks with the Provincio to actually shoot. But no, he's gone full zombie mode, Provincio spam. In the meantime, you know, just stacking these buildings like this, there's not much point of that. You need to get them into here and stuff. Using bad optics Humvees to scout is a bit weird, but I suppose it can work a little bit for the roads and whatnot. Air rifles reinforcing this zone. More Provincio, like he's completely switched off his brain. He's just buying Provincio. And then another 108. So it's kind of weird that he's buying these instead of the ones that are good. Why wouldn't you get the 203s if you actually want to hurt people? You know, it's been 13 minutes, no 203s. It's very sad. Anyway, yeah, this is great against infantry, but the gun version is... Towed version, in my opinion, is better because it doesn't get hurt as much. So... yeah, Sheridan's pretty decent against infantry because of the HE value. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like a demolition gun or whatever, but it's got 1.5 HE, so not so bad. And you see, like, that wouldn't die that fast if it was the towed one, but it wouldn't move that fast either. So in the meantime, Blackhawk's being used to scout stuff. That was a bit sloppy there, but it does happen. And then, like, why isn't this engaged? If they're shooting, why isn't this thing here helping to shoot? It's kind of sat there. So, yeah, it looks like Jeb might get a golf. In the meantime, he's still just buying Provincio. Okay, he's finally bought the RT piece now. So typically, you'd want to unload this as soon as you buy it. Make sure the auto sells off or the vehicle will disappear straight away. And you just fire a salvo, and then you move it, because it will reload while moving, which is obviously a bit weird. But yeah, he's buying a few more tanks now. I think this is where the magic should be happening, but he needs, like, AA. He needs AA, he needs a couple tanks. It can't just be Provincio. He's not mixing in any gendarmes either. He's not mixing in the military police, which makes the Provincio fight way better. So, it's a shame, really. So, Red's still on that +1, and the thing with Red is that he could just be on... It could have been on a +2 all this time. All he has to do is buy the Humvee and just put it here. Right? The enemy can't shoot you. That's the whole point. This is supposed to be a contestable zone. This is supposed to be the middle zone. But Blue gets all the houses and Red gets a dip. So you might as well use the dip. If Blue gets all these wonderful houses and whatnot. But yeah, I've made the same mistake. There's a game I need to get on the channel. Hippie versus Koch. And I'm playing 4th UK and he's playing 5th Panzer Division. And I made the same mistake where I just sort of forgot I could do this. So that's why I'm here to point it out. In the meantime, the zombie hordes coming over here. No fire support, no AA, no Provincio. Sorry, no gendarmes. Only Provincio. Only Provincio. So here we go. The last 2 Alpha jets. It's Carter 3, right? You can use the seed to intercept them if you want. Obviously you can't if you fly over a minstrel first and it shoots you. Okay, it didn't hit him, so should be fine to... No? Okay. It's like, where's that Phantom? Because it one-shots them. Anyway, yeah, the Seed also gets nice missiles and whatnot, so... And there's the Phantom. Oh, it's an Eagle. So the Airborne Eagle... The AMRAAM is actually worse than the Sparrow now, which is kind of dumb, because obviously the AMRAAM was invented to replace the Sparrow. The Sparrow's got more range, which apparently is true for the later versions of the Sparrow and the earlier versions of the AMRAAM. But it's also got less damage. Which means, you know, it takes 6 to kill that plane, which is why I didn't kill it in 1 hit. So, VADs being brought up and whatnot, VADs are pretty good against just Provincio spam. Like, frankly, like, where's the armor? Yeah, your ratio should be, like, basically 1 of these to 1 Provincio, more or less. Or, you know, maybe 1 of these for every 2 Provincio, something like that. And yeah, the heavy hog, so it's got to land. It's got to land so it can get its rockets back. And this is right here for it, so it's just got to land, take off, land, take off. Because the gun, you know, the gun is something, but it's not obviously going to do as much damage as the rockets. So Humvee's all coming down here so that they can just get taken by Blue and then blown up by their own guys. So you got to watch those auto cell orders. So yeah, you see he's repathed it here now. And 105's coming in. They're not amazing, but they're very cheap, and you can upvet them. So you can get 2 in a card, and they're not so bad, actually, if they're upvetted. They're still kind of bad, but they're not as bad. The thing is, he's not got any recon here, so he's not getting corrected shot, so it's just a case of, well, if you've got it, you might as well use it, as opposed to that is actually doing anything. And Vito's in a nice spot, so will this unload? It will. In the meantime, the 203s. Okay, he's already moved the 105s. 81mm. Look how bad the range is on this. Can't even cover that whole zone from there. It's and yeah, the self-propelled version's a lot better. So basically, you can shift Q sell orders. So what you can do is like shift all these and press it's L for sell. I've rebound mine to R. So you can do like shift F R, and they would all come over here and then sell, something like that. And that way you can avoid some of these traps without having to pay too much attention. And yeah, just more Provincio, more Provincio, more Provincio. Like, where's the combined arms? Where's the... We should have both howitzers up by now, right? It's a shame it took him so long to buy those, but yeah, more Provincio. In the meantime, you know, like Blue could try attacking here, I suppose. There's only one guy there. I suppose a lot of this would be brought around, but yeah, the Provincio is calling him. Apparently, he just needs more Provincio. Yeah, it can get. It's very difficult to get into the habit of constantly buying stuff with a division like DivMob and buying the right things constantly and not just floating 10 million points. It is hard to, you know, click Provincio twice and then click Gendarmes once and then click M41 or M48 once. It's a lot easier to just click Provincio. And realizing what you're going to need before you need it is a very difficult skill. So you would buy your second recon before the first recon dies, right? You would buy the extra AA before the plane strike comes and kills all your guys, and that's obviously a much more difficult skill, and that applies to all divisions. So yeah, what to say? The game is slowing down, right? Both sides just content to build up. I mean, Red is content to sit on his +1 and not bother putting a guy in the dip and just be on a +1 for the whole game. Instead of a +2. And Blue is content to save up his Provincio a bit instead of just YOLOing them all in constantly. Thing is, Red... Oh, there we go, he's realised it now. Oh yeah, come back CV here. Great. Good stuff. Yeah, if you're Red, you wanna try and get somebody up to here, right? You can go all the way down this way. I'll get a recon up to there. That's always nice. Okay, can there's something happening? So that's Blue trying to sort things out, and yeah, but Blue really needs to up his smoke game, I think, a little bit, if he wants to get back in here, right? He basically has to isolate this so that he can get back in here and take this, and then he can get a CV in here at least. You know, if he's got all this set up, you know, deal with the toes and whatnot. That's sort of what the 203s are for, but he's just not using them to their full capacity. That the main advantage with it being 2-vet is that you can fire a salvo every minute, and we've seen 2 salvos out of him in 20 minutes. So he's firing a salvo every 10 minutes instead of a salvo every minute, right? So he could be 10 times more efficient with that that 203. Even more so if you put a CV next to it. And he's got some CVs just knocking around, so yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, you know, if you're going to bring 4 cards of Artie, and presumably 2 of them with the smoke, then you can do some smoking, right? Right, so the 203 is probably going on the enemy Artie, isn't it? That's my assumption. No, it's actually hitting an infantry target. Okay. So, was this in here for a second, or... I don't think it was. Maybe he saw it coming in somehow. Well, who knows. So, this does have a minimum range, but... What the heck was that? Just give it a move order or something. Anyway, getting a lot of value out of this. Wasted a lot of ATGMs, right? In the meantime, more Provincio have arrived. But Red's reinforced the position now, so it's going to be harder for Blue to take it. He does have a mortar for smoke, but he's not engaged it yet. And there you go. The Humvee is going to sit in the gap. It's okay. It's quite close to not being in the gap. But yeah, there you go. This is what the 2 Provincio are for, presumably. The thing is the sniper, right? And of course, this 203, if it was actually shooting, could kill this pretty easily. I've noticed I keep stuttering now. It's a product of my situation, I guess. I'm just sort of deteriorating. Wonder how low I can go. But yeah, this is obviously... Nothing's happening. They're just sort of waiting around. If you're the 82nd Airborne player, you know, should be trying to sneak another lav around the side, basically. What about going this way? What about getting all the way around here? Oh, yeah, well, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? And then you can shoot guys as they show up and whatnot. Some nice vision. Instead, it looks like Red's going to try and smoke this and take this. So that's nice to have, frankly, if you want to hold this zone. Sort of mandatory. But it looks like Blue's about to do his big attack at the same time. In the meantime, the Provincio's shown up, but you see that the sniper will actually kill these guys. It'll take him quite a while, but he will get them. They actually no, because if they sit there, then he's not going to be able to see them. Thing is, I suppose you could just bring the Sheridan around. That Humvee is not far enough away for my liking. So the smoke's out, but the attack isn't really happening. LGBT on the Provincio, I assume. No, he never replaced those Eyehawks, so you know he's just gonna get air bullied, I guess. So I suppose that I don't know what that was really. It wasn't great. Got hit by a minstrel. It never dropped its bombs or anything. Yeah. So cool fire support and whatnot. Right, the smoke is good. Right, see, yeah, you need to smoke off the enemy fire support. Red's done Blue a big favour by coming out here because now he's exposed. But yeah, there's no... The Eyehawks aren't up. There's like one minstrel and one gun thing against 82nd Airborne. Provincio not being unloaded, just dying in the transports. Okay, he's unloaded the last two. And he wasn't spending his points because, I mean, typically you'd want all this to be here before the attack starts. And yeah, just like one minstrel for all this against 82nd Airborne. It's kind of what were you expecting to happen? And like this isn't attacking at the same time or anything. It can be hard to get right, but you know if you've got, isn't that sort of the whole point of doing the build up so that you can attack them all at once? So yeah, more people. The VADS is still going. And yeah, you know, he is mixing in some gendarmes, which is nice. You like to see it. It's just a bunch of M47s. No recon apart from the scimitar, so you can't really see most of these ATGMs and whatnot. Vincio's slowly dying to that Sheridan. Did this guy run out of ammo or something? I can't see it anymore. And this isn't shooting. Oh no, it was shooting. So 108 back there, that's also reloading, so I guess it was shooting. Having the Avenger there is not great, right? But yeah, it's very cinematic, I suppose. But yeah, just it's not going very well, is it? So the Avenger actually has like a really good gun on it, like a really good 50 cal. There's the Heavy Hogs, I think. No, it's an Apache. There are now 2 minstrels. Wow. Oh, 3. Incredible. And they're like, nothing's happening here. Still on a plus side, you could just drive this back in, but it's not doing that. And yeah, like Red's being pushed back. If you've noticed, he has lost most of his guys here, and Blue still has people to buy. Just really struggling with the AA situation, right? He needs to move up his minstrels and stuff, and frankly, his attack direction was a bit weird, right? So it's like taking this, okay, great, but you need to take this and then take that. You don't just like run into the cauldron of death. Yeah, just, you know, he's not doing anything. It's kind of hard to keep everything going. Here we go. So now that this attack has failed, he's now going to try a different attack here. But typically you want to do them both at once to overwhelm the enemy. The issue is it overwhelms yourself. So there you go, 3 minstrels take out the Tow Cobra. And yeah, so what you do is you smoke all this and then you take this. But now he's overspec'd into tanks, right? Because he just bought all the infantry and then he bought all the tanks as opposed to infantry tank and whatnot. So yeah, it's not ideal. And his minstrel isn't really with the guys. Yeah, I don't know, that fighter, the 175-point fighter, be pretty useful against these Apaches and whatnot. Not sure what happened to the Apache, maybe it died. But something like this especially. Definitely take that out. And then basically what you can do is just like land this, take it off, land this, take it off, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, overall, it is kind of working. It's just that the losses have been pretty horrendous. Here we go. Here's the fighter for the Kiowa. There was an Apache. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just it's been resupplying. And, yeah, I mean, like I said, this is way better than that for 10 more points. So, okay, now there's a big attack happening here. But no tank support, right? Just Provincio and their transports. No gendarmes. Just Provincio. But hey, I mean, the Horde is making progress here. It's like one of those sort of wave defense games, right? So now the Airborne engineers obviously can't stand up to the M47s. This guy could be in there, but all this time, Red's been on this +1. So even if Blue got a +1 now, Red's been on a +1 for 20 minutes, 28 minutes, and has only got 1,000 points. Then there's not 28 minutes left. Then you're not, you're going to need more than a +1. So, but yeah, the progress is being made. Look, he's got gendarmes with his guys. He's bought some Ihawks now. And yeah, the minstrels are moving up. He's taken this little bit. Minstrels are doing good work. Over here, this went about as well as you might imagine. Without fire support, the grenade launchers just killed everybody. And yeah, just more attacking. All these guys are pretty low now, so even though there's lots of units, this is probably as far as it's going to get. I think he ran out of ammo on the mortars. Yeah, he did. He fired all. No, he still got him. Yeah, he should be mortaring. Still got a bit of ammo left there, so he could still continue to mortar. And yeah, it's still mortaring here, right? It's just there's nobody left. Grenade launchers claim too many victims, so yeah, he's finally taken this little bit, which allows you to move up your AA and stuff, right? Stops the healers from messing you up and gives you an easier path into here. You know, like this 203, for example, could have been firing a lot more. Like, he is using it occasionally, like, he's seen the CV now, so he's trying to get that. This is firing, you know, for... Obviously, the combat's moved, but it is good that it is firing. It is doing something. And there you go, CV's in. And he stopped the tick with 10 minutes left. But I do not believe it is enough. I believe he needs more. I think he needs to fully cap this zone. But he stopped his attack to buy 2 Ihawks. So, you know... And yeah, get some more mortars for that. So he made it into the forest, it's just it cost him everybody. I'm not sure what to say now. I mean, obviously he can keep buying stuff, but if that didn't work, I don't think he can do it again, right? With another 9 minutes left. You know, he's not got another one of those in him. He can obviously continue to buy units. But yeah, consider your momentum when you're buying stuff. Like, okay, so let's say you do desperately need an Ihawk and you forgot it in the attack. Well, then why not buy 1? Do you know what I mean? Instead of 2 at once. So, will he unload? Okay, it's not going for those. He does have a CV in, though. That's a good advantage, right? He's got a CV in. He's sort of back where he started. And yeah, he's going for that Apache. And you see it missed all its missiles, and that will happen a lot with that plane. That's why I say you need 2 cards, because you do, because that does happen. I've seen that happen many times. You sold the Ihawk transports, so it's not ideal. Can't move that, although, you know, Bragg here does accommodate him by just flying over that twice, so now he won't be around for a couple of minutes or so. But yeah, selling the transport is not ideal, because if Red is paying attention, he can artillery this. 105s aren't the best thing ever, but it can be done. Okay, so he's going to try triple smoke ball to the corner. Those Provincio, I think they're going to get stunned now. Oh, he's got it on an attack move order instead of a regular move. So, you know, if you use the smoke grenade, you can save yourself here. The smoke grenade, which is why you brought that unit and not the other ones. So I guess the smoke grenade. No, I guess not. So there go the Provincio, I suppose. Oh no! Oh, okay. Alright, okay. So, like, this is all an auto attack. He's not really paying attention. He's looking over here, I suppose. So, yeah, the 105s could be used to just sort of, because you know he's in here somewhere. But yeah, he's using the mortar, you see. And that's not a bad use of it. If you know they're in this area, why not just hit it with a bunch of mortar rounds? You might hit them. Obviously, the mortars aren't amazing, but the splash is very, very low. But, you know, if you know they're there, you're not doing anything else with the mortar. You might as well. Can be worth just buying one mortar and doing stuff like that with it. Just area denial, basically. So, yeah, I don't know. If he was going to put these in his deck for damage, they just shouldn't be in there, basically. They're just for smoke, and it's just because the Belgian smoke mortar doesn't have much range. But in this case, he managed to make it work, so he didn't need this one at all. You know, and he could have had two of these out firing the whole game. He only ever bought one, and it wasn't fired. Because this is basically one of your best tools. It's very... Look how good it is, right? But, you know, look, right? It is a practice thing, though, right? If you play more, you get better. And, yeah, here we go. So this Humvee was sent back in here now. And so he's still on a +1. 6 minutes left. And, yeah, I don't really see this going anywhere for blue. He's got this one CV left here. He's buying another one. He's actually getting some JPK. Imagine if this first attack had had JPKs with their mediocre stealth in this forest firing. So DivMob, I think it is overpowered, but it is very hard to play. It's overpowered if you can play it well. If you just play it like a regular division, I suppose you could say, then you're gonna not. Well, I mean, to be honest, all you're doing is just buying the same stuff but more of it. So yeah, it takes some practice. Like, I've been playing 4th UK a lot, and I've been finding the same thing, that it's like, I don't know what to buy instinctually. Whereas if I play 2nd UK, I know I can just click the Warrior Milan button and then click on the screen, you know, click on the map, and then I'm going to win. But obviously, this is a little bit more well thought out. So, right, 2nd Panzer Grenadier, I just have to buy Marder 1A3 Milans. Just have to buy Marder 1A3 Milans, right? Don't have to think, just have to buy. Whereas this div, you got to buy all your units at once, and so it's kind of hard to do it. And, you know, credit to Fort Bragg, he's done a great job of getting there first and then sitting there, which is sort of what it is to play Airborne, so could have tried sneaking around a bit more, but I did like the lav at the start here coming around, right? That was very effective, you know, why not do it again? Obviously you can't do it the same way, because usually they put somebody there, and there is somebody there. But he could have done the same thing here, he could have tried to get around. Could have tried the same thing over here, right? So you get around this way, and you can use this road, right? If they start, you've got smoke, right? So if there's an ATGM in here, you'd know about it. And there you go. The 105's finally got hit by that 203. I think he still gets 3 of them at 1 vet. I can't remember. I think it's 3 at 1 vet and 2 at 2 vet. Yeah, because look, he's got 3. We know from the deck review he's only got 1 card. So Jeb on that +1, because he somehow, there was just no red CV in this. Okay, there it is. So he did get some points on the board, but yeah, I'm not sure why he's still in this game, to be honest. So yeah, with 1 minute left, I mean, he's buying some more stuff. He's trying to get the Humvee over here, but I mean, it really is just a... he's got absolutely no chance of winning. Where's he going to get 1,200 points from? So, just buying his tools. Maybe this is, like, you know, he's not playing much DivMob, so he's just learning it. So there you go, he had all those planes. And the Ihawks were out of ammo, so I guess they're just not going to shoot back. There was a seed here, so it would have shot them anyway. And yeah, he's just continued to smoke this, and I mean, all he has to do is run in around in circles, he'll find it. But yeah, GG. Pretty interesting game. So this is Jeb, rank 189, with a 58% win rate and 226 games total. So who can fault him? And this is Fort Bragg, rank 52, with 653 games. So fairly similar players with their number of games, right? Yeah, DivMob, what to say? Very popular. Been seeing a lot of DivMob lately. Look at that. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21 units with one Apache. Wow. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that game, and I'll see you in the next one. GG.